instead. I am seeking to find her a proper husband during this time of unification. It would be good to get her out of the house.
So Robert's like, I am honored, Sir Salesman, that you would consider me a worthy husband for your
How could I
daughter.
not? You are among the most notable of knights in Earl Roderick's court. I am certain that soon you might be named an officer of the court. It would be good to have you as a son-in-law.
So Robert jokes, an officer of the court. That sounds far too boring. Much rather be off hunting and killing Saxons.
He says, how much do you know of the officers of the court? Sir Imeg and Sir Illid were both officers. I believe both of them died by your side in battle.
Oh, they did. Though I do not know if I have the patience for these sort of courtly things.
He just rolls his shoulders and is like, either you do or you do not, sir. That is not for me to decide. Either way, if you were to take my daughter's hand in marriage, I could offer you her manors, both of which have hereditary knights bound to them. In turn, they would bind themselves to you.
So then Robert says, that is an interesting offer. But if I must be honest with you, Sir Salesworth, I do not know what you know of my reputation, but I am not... I have already been married twice, and it has not ended well for me.
He says, he looks at you strangely, and he is like, do you not know of your own reputation, sir?
He says, I do, far too well. And after my second wife died, I promised myself that I would never love only one woman, for my heart would never be able to survive being broken like that again.
So he looks at you strangely and says, I have heard you often attempt to love many women, often in the same night, and that recently you have failed repeatedly in doing so. But I jest, sir, I do not wish to offer offense. Merely to hang
Robert laughs. He says, none taken. So he says,
Tis the difference
many
between
kinds of
love
hunts.
and banging the bed sheets.
Yeah.
Do you walk over and say that, Aurelius?
No, I'm just
Okay.
proposing a possible response he might use. But no, that's far too crude for what Aurelius would say.
So Robert just laughs and he says, perhaps what you should know is that I cannot promise that I may be faithful to your daughter. My heart is not to be given to one.
He says, faithful to my daughter. Do you act as if I care about that? I will be honest with you, Sir Robert. I have no other heirs, and I wish to get rid of the girl. She is somewhat dull, and she wears upon my old soul, so if I could get her out of the house, things would be much quieter.
Robert says,
I do not care if you are faithful to her. The religion of Aurelius and his somewhat arrogant ways do not concern me. I am Christian only in name. My daughter practices not.
Robert seems intrigued by the offer. He says, very well, then I should meet your daughter, and then I shall give you my answer.
He says, very well. You shall meet my daughter in the new year, when all of us return back to the county. I look forward to introducing you to my daughter, the Lady Letta.
The Lady Lena, you said, right?
Letta. L-E-T-T-A.
Okay. All right. So you say, very good, very good. Now come and have some ale with me.
So yes,
Robert
he does have ale with you, and he tells you tales of the horrifying and war crimes that he has performed on Saxons.
Horrifying. Let me tell you tales of my war crimes.
A lot more, like he needs alcohol to deal with this. Like Robert's not, like he likes to kill shit, but he's not one for like unnecessary suffering.
This guy like eviscerates them and then leaves them out for birds to like eat their guts in front of them.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a pretty nasty dude.
So, since we have brought up the topic of marriage,
Indeed.
Aurelius is in the market.
Aurelius, can you? Would you actually mind coming over to me? I know that's rude of me, but I don't feel like getting up. I had something to speak to you about.
Certainly.
Are you shouting out that Aurelius is still on the market?
He's not yelling it out. He's sort of during part of the
here's
speech.
the interesting thing. As the tournament holder, basically all of the noblewomen present themselves to you. So is there any women in particular you're keeping an eye out for?
I don't think I have a good track on who the current ones are.
Of course not. Well, here are some women. Just gonna throw it out here. Just throwing out women at you. I feel like the gender cred for the show keeps dropping more and more.
How many women viewers do you think we have?
Not many right now.
I brought one along as well, Lady Belle. She's a half-sister of mine.
Of course, Lady Belle is there. Morgause, Elaine, and Morgan, daughters of the Duchess Igraine.
While they, I'm sure, are beautiful, I'm also quite certain that they are very far out of my potential range.
Perhaps. If a knight was certainly very wise and politically inclined, he could certainly leverage such a marriage, though. There's also the Lady Iona. I believe you met her before. She is rumored to be the daughter of a witch and a knight. Her father, who was served in Frankland with Sir Maddock, is finally being confirmed dead after years of him missing during the assault that you guys did not participate in. And I believe Sir Seradius ran away during that assault. Praetor Seradius. Was an interesting time. Anyway, that was when Maddock led the charge there and was like, we're going home, and you guys were like, okay, I'm following Maddock.
All right.
Lady Iona is 16 years old and has silver hair, and so is well pursued in the court, even though it's rumored that she only has 2 manors. There's also the Lady Catherine. I believe you met her last time. She is the sister of the 3 brothers who you have hired as surgeon knights.
Does she have any manners?
I love how it all comes down to the manors. She has 1 manor that her father has offered her near Tintagel. Her father is Sir Trontios. He is too old and feeble to leave his bed. And there is also the Lady Eloise, who we have met before as well. She appears to be about 20 years old. No one has ever actually seen her before this year. However, she seems to have a manor near Amesbury in the County Salisbury.
So, important question.
Yes.
Given Aurelius, does he have general knowledge of whether they're Christian?
I feel like a recognize rule would be needed for each one of them.
Well, if he can't, he'll also ask various friends, such as Sasha or other members who might have better skills.
I failed my recognize. Better phone a friend and have them roll recognize as well.
It's sort of I'm at the table.
So I feel like rather than rolling that out, I'll just let you know, because you're putting the work into, no matter what, get the answer. Morgause is Elaine and Morgan. None of them are Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan is said to follow some unusual sect of paganism. The Lady Iona is openly British Christian. No one knows very much about the Lady Eloise at all. And the Lady Catherine is Roman Christian, as her brothers and her father.
So, Aurelius will ask Lady Iona if she will do him the honor of a dance at some point during the feast when we get to that sort of stage.
So she's like, of course, Sir Aurelius. I would love to have the honor of a dance with you. And then she mentions some... Again, I apologize. I do not know the dancing styles of the year 491 AD. Or if we want to get real technical, CE. But I'm guessing there's some very complicated and difficult dance that would require a dancing roll. That she requests. She's like, do you know the Foxtrot Charleston combination dance? It's like the Foxtrot, but with the Charleston.
Oh, that's a bad roll. Eek.
Yeah, so...
I don't really know it, no.
No. I'll tell you what happens. It's like watching A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. During that dance scene, but it's only the first half where he fails horribly and everyone laughs at him. Like, you're trying to display... None of it's cruel laughter, but it's kind of like your old dad doing his weird dance, gets up in front of the crowd, and everyone's like, ha, yes, we enjoyed that, and they just humor you for your terrible dancing skill because you're the host.
Got it. Well.
The Lady Iona, I think, is pretty disappointed, but she says, Sir Aurelius, perhaps dancing is not your forte. Are there any tasks you like to do during your free times? I am an accomplished falconer. Perhaps you like to falcon as well.
I cannot say that I am skilled in the art, but I would enjoy accompanying you.
He says, oh, well, perhaps you are good with song?
I am at my best when I orate prose or poetry.
He's like, a speaker then. She seems a little disappointed by that.
I don't have a broad base of skills.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do with her tonight? During this last day of the feast?
I mean, I guess I could try and make a courtesy roll to try and smooth some of that over.
Oh, okay. You're going to try to... What is the incredibly awkward phrase I've used in the other RPGs? Why don't you run game on her? Yeah.
Run game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've seen...
He says that to me all the time.
Dragon Age 2 has some really terrible romance options. And I like to go, so this is what they call game in Ferelden. Because he's like, yes, I like the way you move your body, assassin. You're quite flexible. And I'm like, is that supposed to be hitting on somebody?
So success on the courtesy.
That's the worst innuendo I've ever heard.
Yes, that is a success on the courtesy. So you managed to overall make a respectable impression? Yeah, that's a good word. You make a respectable impression upon the Lady Iona. Let me just mark that down here. Okay. Is there anything anyone else would like to do? We have not heard shit from Trompiert tonight. Except for a brief quarrel with Sir Robert.
Yeah, no, he's just a little angry at Aurelius. He's just sitting around doing not much.
Okay, all right.
Unless anyone else approaches him, but no.
Robert will actually approach him later once Trump is done.
I see.
Oh, you will approach me?
Yeah.
This is it. This is where the party finally shatters. They start killing each other. Everybody's honor score starts dropping.
So when I see Sir Robert...
And I become the most famous once more.
So when I see Sir Robert come up, Aurelius has sort of a glass of wine that he has been sort of slowly nursing throughout as he's been working the crowd. And he says, Sir Robert, my brother, how did you enjoy the festivities? I hope you had your fill of the wine and.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to be like, how did you enjoy participating in the tournament and the hunt? Oh, wait.
Did my best not to skimp on that. Got some of that red that I know you like.
So Sir Robert, like, he doesn't walk so much over to him as he stomps over to him, like, with a cup of mead in his hand. He's like, very angry, like, "So Aurelius." And right after you say whatever you say to him, he's just like, he sighs and he just, like, kind of lets go. His shoulders slump a bit. He's like, "My old friend, we have been through much together, but I must confess I have not been a good guest this evening.
But why
I
do
must
you...
also confess I was quite wounded when you announced the tournament and that you stated that no pagans would be allowed to participate. You know how much I love to hunt and fight. Why would you not let me participate?"
So at this point, Aurelius kind of puts his arm around Sir Robert's shoulder and kind of leads him a little bit away from the rest of the group. And it's like, I'm sorry, Sir Robert, but the entire purpose of this was to recruit men for my cause. And sadly, I know that you have no interest in it. However, let me make this up to you. This spring, come to my manor and go hunting with me on my lands. The best stag that we can run across is yours.
Yeah. Robert's mood improves a little bit, and he's like,
I feel like, as an alternate ending to this conversation, you could have been like, I had to disclude the pagans. Otherwise, you would have been allowed to participate and win everything.
Hey, I could
That
have
would have
won
played
Layla.
perfectly to Robert's pride. Like, but Robert's like, you know, if a Christian could beat a pagan, then you know you had a worthy Christian.
Huh.
But he's like, thank you for the offer. I would be honored to join you. But I must say you have been an excellent host. All your guests have enjoyed themselves. And then he's like, even if I did not get to hunt, at least the view was quite pleasant, if you know what I'm saying.
Should we get an innuendo counter for this show?
It would blow up. No
Yeah.
need.
It would blow up, yeah.
Well, a large portion of it is attempting to find wives, so... I'll tell you what, I played this in one campaign with a female player. That lasted about 2 sessions. I don't think I'm, like, horribly sexist at GMing this, but just the system itself has inherent sexism built into it pretty
Well,
hard.
of course, this entire until like
This era has it.
Yeah, it's pretty modern for even our level of minor sexism.
Can't live with them, and you can certainly live without them. Wow. Okay.
We can't manage to live with them based on the all the
We just
times
want
they
them
keep
for their
dying.
manners.
So, I think Robert was on the way to speak with Trompeur, right?
Apparently so.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was what was happening, and he got intercepted by Aurelius.
Oh, I thought he was coming to speak to me.
Oh, we had that conversation, and then we...
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So are you doing anything else, Trompeur, or you're just seething at the thought
No.
of Robert taking credit for you?
I'm just annoyed through all of this.
Trompa, do you think this is too many leeches?
He comes up to you, he's got like 6 leeches on each arm.
And you see, Sasha, you're incredibly like delirious at this moment.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
incredibly.
Not only does he have leeches on him, but they've been bloodletting him.
I'm probably
they've
barely
been,
standing.
Like, intentionally wounding him.
Just so nobody can see it, I just like slap him a little.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So, here is how end of session is going to work. You are called into service at the garrison, and so you cannot return home before the end of the year. So,
Okay.
if you do not have a wife or steward, you will either need to hire a steward or take a -10 on your stewardship.
I have a steward.
I have a
And how
wife.
much is the steward per year?
£1.
All
I
right.
guess I need to hire a steward for this year based on
How much time has passed between the end of year and the festivities?
12 weeks.
And you heal how much per?
Your healing rate per week.
Oh, okay, I'm good then.
Okay, before we begin, you automatically get a gift from Sir Thabert. He provides each of you with £6. It is enough to maintain you for the year at your normal station.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It is the wealth of Tintagel being distributed by Uther through Sir Thabert, his favored. So, this is a gift from the king to all of you, and in fact, all knights were stationed at Tintagel, which, as you may have already noted, are mostly knights of great renown and honor are stationed here. So it's kind of like being here is like saying you guys are on the up and up. Okay.
Right.
So let's begin the lengthy and somewhat complicated process of doing end of year for 491.
To the winter.
I gotta pull up my important page book. It's page 106 and page 12 in the GPT.
You have another book just to tell you what pages in the book do you
I have a document to tell me what page is important. Okay, so solo scenarios, you don't have any. Let's do experience rolls. Get those out of the way. You got a check? Let's do it.
Yeah. 1 second, I'm trying to scroll down to the page. I mean, my mother was missing.
Woohoo!
She's pretty old though. She's
Yeah, but
probably just
so
dead.
you literally do not have time to do it because you guys had the mid-season battle, and then you were called into emergency military service for longer than your 40 days, which is why you receive... You guys get the £6 to support yourself. You have to spend £6 to maintain yourself, so no problem. Plus whatever you're paying for your steward. And then you're going to get everything you would normally get from your manors. So you
Loyalty
should end
Pendragon.
up quite ahead in money.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. How about that? Money,
Unfortunately,
money.
Robert, your loyalty is not going to go up.
Pendragon goes up, but
Yeah, but
the
not
other
your
one.
regular loyalty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get nothing.
And I think I've got any more skill checks.
Did you not have any checks, or did you just not...
I just failed everything.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
16.
I actually failed the
I actually
Ooh, I
succeeded
failed
on my
at lustful.
hospitality.
No matter what I do, my lustful refuses to go up.
So my hospitality goes up to 21 then?
I think that's a good
Yep,
thing,
so
Robert.
hospitality's 21.
Okay, last one. Come on, 20.
I
Oh,
feel
damn
like
it, you
there's
took
some
the
sort of
20.
joke we can make about lustful not going up. But I'm so tired, I literally can't think of a good one.
That would be the third innuendo just this session, so please don't.
Nice. Merciful.
Nice
My
on the
God,
merciful.
you're merciful.
I don't know,
Oh.
Sasha, you're actually... Your character's turning into a pretty sweet generator of glory just based on your high stats. Like, you're going to
Well-
be pulling in that yearly glory.
Well, Sasha is the kind of person who doesn't see needless death and likes to offer
Yeah.
to others. Not necessarily generous, but
I
offer
like
them a
the
good
idea
time.
of Sasha, like, sitting down at the end of his life with, like, a book and a pipe and explaining to the young knights, like, squires, he's like, just remember, stay at home, don't get in any fights, try to raise all of your stats to at least 16 so you get a bunch of extra glory, do absolutely nothing dangerous ever. What is the 16 or higher?
That's what we get points in, right? Or is it
Yes.
17?
It has to be 16 or higher.
Okay.
Alright, let's do step 3, aging. Increase your character's age by 1 year and all characters attached to your character, including your squires. Has anyone's squire reached the age of 21?
Well,
I think-
my squire has just aged 1 year because all of my squires die.
My
You have a
first
new
squire
squire
died.
assigned to you then.
He already was. He's now 17.
Excellent.
I'm
Jeff,
getting a new squire at 15, right, Arthur? Who will be again
Yes.
15.
What
So
is
I'm
his
not going to
name?
increase his age. His name is Sir Jamie.
The new one's name is Carl 2.
Jeff
Is
the
it Carl
Tale
with a
Teller.
K instead of a C?
No, it's just Carl 2.
Sir Trumpet gets Squire Carl 2.
I'm just gonna start naming all
Sasha, do you have a new
squires.
squire?
No, Jeff the Tale Teller is 20 now.
Ah, Jeff the Tale Teller, of course. Next year, he may be knighted, or perhaps not. We'll see. Sir Aurelius, do you have a squire? I think yours died.
Mine died, so I have a new
Yes.
one.
What is his name?
Grant.
Of course. Of Grant. I know well of his father. He has a manor on the River Casimir.
Okay.
I have heard that he rides a griffin into combat. Has anyone reached the age of 35?
Nope. 30.
No. 30, yeah.
Oh, some of you are getting quite old.
One more year, actually.
I'm 26. Ah.
34.
All right, we will now check for economic circumstances at home. Nothing's happening. You do not have raiders in Salisbury. Allow me to roll for the county weather. The weather difficulty is at 19. Okay. Who would like to roll against?
Well, I have a steward, so what do I roll for that?
Stewards
Skill.
have a skill of 15.
Wow. What are we rolling against? The weather is 19.
Ooh, Groma.
Did the weather
So
fail? Or
You
did the
have to
weather
roll
succeed?
against the weather and against your own stewardship.
Freaking heck.
Well, my steward succeeds.
So let's start at the beginning. I think Sasha rolled first, right? With a 13.
Yeah.
You succeeded, right?
No, because her skill's 12.
Oh, shit. Okay. So you fail your stewardship, but you succeed at the weather. You live as a poor knight. So you gain 3 pounds. Would you like to spend more to... Oh, that's right. You don't need to because you're already being maintained by Sir Thabert at 6 pounds. So you spend your normal 6 pounds that you would normally do to maintain yourself, and you gain an additional 3 pounds. But times are tough for your peasants back at home. All right. Aurelius, you succeeded, correct?
Yes.
Very well. You have a success and a success. You live as a normal knight. Your manor brings in 6 pounds at home, which goes directly to your pocket.
Excellent.
Sir Trumpert.
Ah. The steward
You picked up a steward?
will have to be removed.
Yes, your steward unfortunately mismanages your estate while you're away and only pulls in 3 pounds for you.
And is
But
it one
goes directly
roll
to your pocket?
for all of those, or
Yes. So
three
each of your houses will bring in 3. How
Okay.
many do you have total?
3?
So you get 9. Yeah.
I still make more.
And to
Robert.
clarify, we were given 6 pounds earlier.
Yes.
Just
By Sir Thabert, that 6 pounds goes directly to maintaining you as a normal.
yeah.
knight.
Okay, so it's not actually
Okay.
pocket money.
Yeah. So the way it works is you're given the money, you immediately spend it to maintain yourself at a normal level, which means you get 6 glory for conspicuous consumption. And then any of the money you make off of your estates this year goes directly to your pocket. So Robert, you also succeed. You gain money as a normal knight, so 6 pounds per manor. How many do you have now?
I have 2 manors. I have one
Excellent.
that I got, and then one I got in as a dowry from one of my wives.
Okay, let's see here. One of you has a special horse, right? It's Rarity. Is she still alive?
No, she died last year
died.
actually.
Yeah.
Very well. Let us check for family. Would anyone like to marry at all?
I'll just roll to bank it.
Okay, make your courtesy roll to impress Earl Roderick. So you approach Earl Roderick, who's wearing his crown, and he's like, "Ah, yes, Sir Robert. I apologize. about the mix-up with Lady Adwin. I had meant for her to marry you, but when Sir Lycus returned from the mission I had sent him on, it was very important that he be rewarded for his service.
Robert says,